Anxiety Disorders in Kids, a project by Madeline King. Have you ever stood up in front of a crowd and just wished you could disappear? Have you ever been so scared of disappointing someone when you've done nothing wrong? Have you ever been so stressed and so panicked that you could just sit down and cry? These are things that I struggle with on a daily basis. My name is Madeline Marie King, and I have an anxiety disorder. But first of all, what is an anxiety disorder? An anxiety disorder is when you get stressed and extremely worried more than other kids your age. Anxiety disorders can make you feel sick or make it hard to think positive. Did you know that anxiety goes along with depression? They are all part of the many types of mental health disorders. Also, different people get stressed about different things. For example, I get stressed about thunderstorms, whereas my mom gets stressed about being late when she goes somewhere. Anxiety is hereditary. That means that normally it runs in your family. Second of all, let me tell you something. Anxiety disorders are not fun to have because you start to no longer enjoy things that you used to love to do. And sometimes it even holds you back from doing things that are really fun. Anxiety lowers most people's confidence, and some days I get really sad and stressed and I do not know why. Another thing that anxiety disorders do to you is they make you feel like no one understands you, and it makes you feel lonely. One of my favorite quotes of anxiety disorders are, "Not all wounds are visible, but anxiety disorders are real. Ask me, I have one." This is how I de-stress. De-stressing isn't always easy, but I learned how to do it. I started by closing my eyes and imagining the beach at my cottage, and then taking a few deep breaths in through my nose and out through my mouth. After that, I do other tricks like tightening all my muscles and letting them loose, or imagining myself completing the task that was stressing me out. Those are just a few examples of what I do. Another thing that I learned is to use something called the fear steps. The F stands for feeling frightened or anxious. How do you feel? The E stands for expecting bad things to happen. Why are you stressed? The A stands for attitudes and actions that may help, so the relaxation tips. And the R stands for results and rewards, being proud after completing the task. After I use those, I problem solve. Did you know that in a problem there are only 4 things you can do? You can A, accept the problem, B, change your attitude about the problem, C, solve the problem, or D, ignore the problem and have more problems later. Depending on the problem, you can also use something called the I statements. I feel blank, when blank, because blank, I would like blank. So you just fill in the blanks with whatever words you need. Did you know that 1 in 5 kids are affected with an anxiety disorder in Canada? It's true. I was one of those kids. I got diagnosed in grade 4 after taking a few special tests. Before that, I was always so happy, but no one could figure out what happened. But thankfully, in September, I started something called CBT. It stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. In this type of therapy, we do a lot of what's called exposures. Exposures are steps that you take to overcoming your fear or what you're stressed about, and presenting this to you is part of one of my goals. I hope that you understand what I've been going through in the past few years. In closing, my name is Madeline Marie King, and I have an anxiety disorder. Thanks for watching.